Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday Eve. Hopefully this week is treating you well so far. Our first really full week of the new year. Hopefully it's been a good one for you. It's been a pretty good one, I'd say, for me. So hopefully you guys didn't have too much of an impact from yesterday's storm. Of course, we saw major impacts up and down the coast with the high tide around 9:30 yesterday morning. Just the incredible imagery coming out of Portland, Higgins Beach, Willard Beach, up the coast in Mid-Coast Maine, Castine, down towards Bar Harbor. I mean, just everywhere along the coast, we saw big impacts from that high tide. Unfortunately, another significant storm headed our way as we head into Saturday. It's going to bring us more rain. It's going to bring us more snow, more wind. And I think the biggest threat, once again, going to be with that coastal flooding. 12:05 p.m. on Saturday. That's our high tide. We've got a big coastal flood threat with that. After that, we do turn colder and next week, and our next big storm looks to be potentially a snow event for us here. So if you're along the coast, you're a little sad that our snow was wiped out. Looks like next week should hopefully bring some back to the picture here. But again, tomorrow, or I should say Saturday's threat, the highest threat is with that 12:05 p.m. high tide. So again, looking like we're going to see some more significant coastal flooding. So again, thanks for joining everybody as you join in. Of course, we're talking about Saturday's significant storm. It looks like a repeat, a copy paste from yesterday into Saturday, a very similar situation setting up for Saturday morning. So let's get into it. A high wind watch already in place for the coastline for Saturday. Again, I don't think that winds and rain or snow will be the huge story here. It's going to be that coastal flooding once again. Connie says that she survived it all and loves the rain. Well, Connie, then good news for you. On Saturday, you're going to get a lot more rain, it looks like. Coastal flooding, again, 12:05 p.m. Saturday. I'm going to keep harping on that through this Facebook Live here. Saturday's high tide likely to be a significant one with very similar levels to what we saw out there yesterday. So I'm going to bring up our high tide record list. Yesterday setting the third highest tide ever recorded in Portland. Very significant event yesterday, something that you normally only see once every maybe few decades or so. Well, we're going to do it again in just a few days. Another storm, again, bringing a big chance for some coastal flooding on Saturday. I want to bring up the current forecast. So you can see here, if you follow my mouse pointer, that forecast 13.9 feet for the tide on our Saturday midday high tide. That would be even higher than the 13.84 feet that we saw yesterday. So really, really significant flood event expected again on our midday on Saturday. So again, likely to see very similar impacts. Portland will likely see flooding at its piers, damage at Higgins Beach, huge waves. Very similar situation to what we saw out there yesterday. So again, I can't harp on it enough that this is likely to be a significant event. There is no more dunes. There's nothing really stopping this water from coming in this time. This first storm that we saw yesterday kind of wiped all of our protections away. So this is really could have a significant impact. So we're going to hope that it doesn't end up quite as high as yesterday, but if it does, I would expect very, very similar results as what we saw yesterday. Yeah, Melissa, I am not happy about it either. I really wish we could be talking about snow as opposed to more rain and more coastal flooding, just these unfavorable tracks for us. It's just really quite something to see how many of these bad storms that we can get in a single season. It looks like we're trying to break a record for that. It seems like 3 very bad southeasterly wind events within a month of each other, at least widespread power outages, likely not to be a concern this weekend. So if you're worried you're going to lose power, you may, but it likely won't be a major power outage here across the state. So let's track it out for you today. The clouds are moving back in. If you're enjoying the sunshine right now, it's not going to stick around for too much longer. The clouds do return this afternoon. And if you've been hoping for a little snow after yesterday's rain, well, we do have the chance for a little bit of it this afternoon. A few snow showers or flurries possible through the late afternoon and the evening. Now, as we head into our Friday, we're going to see the sunshine returning. Tomorrow does look like a beautiful day. Sunny skies expected all day on Friday. High temperatures in the middle and upper 30s for tomorrow. Should be a great one to get out and enjoy. Now, our storm gets going late Friday night into Saturday. Really picks up after midnight. really into the early morning hours. It looks like sunrise is going to be the worst of it. Between about 6 a.m. or so through about 10 a.m. or so. So if you're wondering about timing, again, 6 to 10 a.m. or so on Saturday morning. Heavy rain at the coastline, snow inland, changing over to rain with everyone except for the mountains. The mountains get another significant snow. For the rest of us, it's snow to rain or just all rain. So here we are, likely seeing some of the worst of it right around 8 a.m. Heavy rain, strong winds, inland and mountain snow. Now, this could cause some power outages, maybe some minor damage, but we've had so many strong wind events lately. There's just not that many weak branches or trees left to be knocked over. So I think that the wind damage aspect, wind threat, will likely be a little lower with this storm, but that coastal flood threat is very, very high. It's coming at the highest tide of the month. Couldn't be more unfavorably timed. And again, 12:05 p.m., that's our high tide. By that point, similar to yesterday, the worst of the storm will be done, but the water is going to keep on rising. Again, water takes longer to respond to wind than the air would, I guess, or than rain or snow will. So it will take it a minute for that high tide to really pick up. But once it does during the afternoon, likely to see some significant coastal flooding right around noon with that big high tide. So again, 12:05 p.m. Saturday, that's when we're likely to see some major coastal flooding. After that, we do quiet down. We should even see the sun poking out late Saturday afternoon. And Sunday, we're turning cooler and much quieter. All right, if you are tuning in just for a snow map, well, here we go, you guys. Here it is right now for our Saturday storm. If you're away from the coastline, Sanford through, let's say, Standish, Gorham, up towards the Brunswick area, over towards Rockland, Camden, in the mid-coast, a coating up to an inch. It gets washed away pretty quick. We change over to rain. Lewiston, Augusta, if you're watching from those areas, out towards Sebago Lake, 1 to 3 inches looks pretty likely there. Again, it does switch over to rain, likely for the mostly washed away. Klein says he's just joining again. For those just joining, talking about our significant storm on Saturday. Coastal flooding is by far the biggest threat with that. But again, another significant snow on the way for the mountains. Heavy rain and strong winds look likely for the rest of us. If you're in the Freiburg area, out towards, say, Bridgeton, up through places like Skowhegan, 3 to 6 inches, likely some rain, but not all that much rain. It looks like mostly snow there. And then the mountains, it's pretty much all snow. Could end as a little bit of rain, but 5 to 10 inches looks likely there. Sunday River got 18 inches yesterday, or I think it was actually Sugarloaf. Sugarloaf got 18 inches yesterday. 5 to 10 more inches coming for the ski resorts. If you're a skier watching me right now, you love to see this heading into the long weekend. Klein, for example, and Carrabassett. Yeah, another 5 to 10 inches of snow on the way for you on Saturday. Wouldn't be surprised if you squeeze out another foot out of this system. So again, at least, hey, after that December storm, which the ski resorts took right on the nose, that was really a bad storm for them. At least this storm, these past couple storms have given the ski resorts some snow. So again, not dealing at least with ski resort damage, but coastal damage certainly looking likely. So again, 5 to 10 inches, the Rangeley area through places like Bethel, Carrabassett Valley, as Klein was mentioning there, Newry as well, likely to get in that 5 to 10 inch range. So if you're a skier, again, pretty good for the weekend. So let's talk about the winds that we are expecting on Saturday. Does look like they will be pretty intense, gusting up to 55 miles per hour. A little weaker. If you remember yesterday, we had a 63 mile per hour gust in Portland. Our peak gust on Saturday, probably around 55 miles per hour. So winds at a slightly lower level. That's good for power outages. It's the coastal flooding. Again, that's what I'm really, really focused on for the biggest impacts on Saturday. So the worst winds early in the morning, tapering off by the afternoon, likely mid-coast and down east Maine. Again, getting the strongest winds here. Hopefully that's the last time we're talking about major wind events for at least a little while. I think we would all appreciate a bit of a break. Of course, we're coming into the long weekend. I'm hoping many of you are looking forward to that. A nice break for you on Monday. Saturday, we're going to see our storm, of course. Sunday looks pretty nice, though. Low to mid 30s. Monday, we turn colder, but it does look sunny on MLK Day and pretty quiet as well. So the second half and really Sunday, Monday of the long weekend looking pretty good here if you do want to get outdoors. So again, Saturday storm, it's a mild storm, snow that turns over to rain for a lot of us. Heavy rain and strong winds looking likely as well. A big coastal flood threat at around 12:05 p.m. for that high tide. Again, I can't focus on that enough. That's just going to be probably a pretty bad situation along the coastline. Now, next week, if you're hoping for snow, you're watching me live along the coast or even inland and you're hoping for some snow, well, looks like potentially next Tuesday, Wednesday could bring us at least a chance of that. A colder pattern. It looks like another storm moves in. As of right now, with those colder temps, mostly or all snow would be favored. Of course, high uncertainty at this time. It's still about a week away, but that's what we'll be watching as we head into next week. You can see another coastal storm moves up the East Coast, potentially bringing the next chance of some widespread snowfall here across the state. So again, we'll be closely watching that heading into next week. But before I head out here, again, major coastal flooding is expected this weekend. I do want to bring up the forecast tides in Portland for this weekend. Bear with me for a second while I pull that up. There we go. Again, 13.9 feet is what is currently forecasted in Portland on Saturday at 12:05 p.m. for our high tide. Yesterday, 13.84 feet, third highest all time. You'll notice the forecast is already higher than what we saw yesterday. That's why the concern is so high for another significant coastal flood event. If it goes any higher than we saw yesterday, well, there's no protection left. It's all been washed away by yesterday's storm. So that's why there's a significant risk of seeing more coastal damage, more erosion, more overwash, and just damage to homes, broken windows, broken doors, that sort of thing as well. So again, if you've got coastal property, you've got a boat that's tied to a dock that you know had some damage yesterday, maybe a good idea to move it, start preparing for this on our Saturday, because it likely will have some pretty big impacts up and down the coastline. So again, I'm trying to bring you guys some fun news or a good forecast here. Definitely not the nicest one, though, for our Saturday morning. Good news is it's over by Saturday afternoon. Hopefully, we get at least a little break from major wind events. I don't think we'll get a break from storms, but we'll get hopefully a break from major wind events, because we do have another storm headed our way next Tuesday and Wednesday. So again, I'm gonna wrap things up now, you guys. Keep an eye on the coastline on Saturday. We'll keep you posted as we head towards the weekend. If anything changes with that, hoping it trends a little bit less high, we can just get it a half foot or so lower. I think our impacts would be a lot more manageable here. So let's hope that we don't see as bad of coastal flooding as we saw yesterday. But again, I would prepare for it to be as bad, if not even worse in some spots. So we'll keep tracking this Saturday storm. I'll keep tracking the chance for some snow next week if you're a snow lover. And if you're a skier, it still looks pretty good for you this weekend to go up to the slopes and enjoy all of the fresh snow. So hopefully you have a great rest of your day, everybody. We'll keep you posted here heading towards the weekend. Have a good one. Have a good one.
This has been Live Interact.